I'm Megan Fenno, and I am an accessory designer, and I have a company that is online as well as an accessory truck. I found out about you through a friend that is also a boutique owner, and she was saying, oh, you need to listen to Emily's podcast. They're really good. So I started listening to him, and I heard an ad for Six Figure Blueprint, and I'm like, oh, that's so much money. I mean, at the time, it was a lot of money for me. Now I probably wouldn't think too much about it because I know, one, how valuable it is, and also I'm making a lot more because of Six Figure Blueprint. So I was like, okay, worst case scenario, I'm out the money, but maybe I can learn something from this. And it was totally, it transformed everything from my mindset to my personal life. So it's not just transforming my business, it's transforming everything around it. Like, I'm not as anxious about the million things I have to do because I've learned how to categorize things. And then from our calls, you had talked to me. I said, how do I get over this overwhelm? And you kind of walked me through it personally, which was so helpful. So helpful. I mean, I do have my degree in fashion accessory design, but the thing is, they don't really teach you a whole lot about business. And when I went to school and I graduated in 2006, like, Facebook and like social media wasn't what it is today. I mean, so I needed somebody like you to come in and kind of be like, okay, this is what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, things like that. I think what really helped me was the mindset, because a lot of times, if you were to take a business class, I don't think that they cover that. And that is so important, so important. And then also inventory management. So I was just kind of here, there, everywhere. And I was using at the time WooCommerce, which was through WordPress. And you were talking about Shopify and how it really simplifies things. And man, it is great, because if I have like one piece left and I'm at a market or an event and I sell that, it takes it off my website. So I'm not double selling, because that was another problem. But I think it just everything, and hearing other people's concerns and things that we wanted to talk about on the calls was also helpful. It was things that I didn't even think pertained to me, but they, and then I took knowledge from that. My life and business have completely transformed since taking Six Figure Blueprint. I mean, going in, honestly, I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, I figured, worst case scenario, I'm sure I'll learn something. I had no idea that it was going to be this transformational. I mean, everything from mindset, and that kind of spills over into my personal life as well. Just inventory management, getting word out there about your boutique. I mean, I can't think of one thing that it hasn't changed for the better, honestly. And it just keeps growing and it keeps growing. And I think the one thing that is the biggest transformation is, you said a prerequisite for your class is to read the book. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to read the whole thing. And I even read about the mobile boutique, and I'm like, I don't even need to read this, but I'm going to read it. But then I couldn't get the thought out of my head, like, how cool would that be to have a mobile accessory truck that sells all handmade accessories? And I've yet to find somebody that's doing the same exact thing. I've asked in the fashion truck tribe, and there's one person that sells like fibers, like she makes like yarn and purses, and that's in Australia. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be amazing, right? Like, either this is the best idea in the world or the worst, because no one's done it. But you talked me through it, and you're like, this, in those calls and Six Figure Blueprint, like, you're like, you should do it. You should do it. I mean, why not? And it seriously has been the best thing ever. It's just the excitement around it. It's just incredible. Like, people are just so excited. And I feel like I give out such a positive vibe. I'm attracting like the best customers, the best. The grand opening celebration for my truck was simply amazing. I mean, like, hundreds came out, and it was a record-breaking day. And wow, it was insane. Like, I think it was about 250 people, which I didn't expect. But people were just so excited. And the truck is basically booked up through September. So if I was a designer and I'm looking for some type of instruction or to take some type of business course, I would definitely recommend Six Figure Blueprint, because in school, a lot of times, yeah, you'll have a business class, but they don't teach you the mindset. They don't teach you about inventory and specifics to your business, because every business is so different. And yes, you may be a boutique or trying to enter into the boutique world by selling your wares or your jewelry or the things that you make. Beyond that, business is hard. There's a lot of things that you just don't know that you need to do. Anything from like the licensing to like getting word out there. Because I know I wasn't always great at marketing myself. I'm still not as good as I could be. But hearing you talk about how to market yourself on social media and how you should be talking to one individual person, like little tips like that, amazing. They're game changers. So I went from strictly online to doing, maybe like 20 events a year to like booking about 10 events a month. Plus now I have the truck. So I'll do some events inside, some with the truck. I'm going to do private parties. I have a bunch. And that's something that would have never happened if I didn't take 6-figure blueprint, honestly.